all right, everybody. Get up on your feet, as Lee would say. We got Christmas week pods. We are here. I'm in studio. We got Tassos out in Florida. We got Justin out in Chicago as well. Let's kick it over to him.
Where are you?
I said I'm in studio.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You were
Yeah.
in Chicago. That's right. Very nice.
How we doing today, everybody?
Very good. The holidays are upon us. Christmas Eve tomorrow, Christmas Wednesday. I'm sure we're all very excited for that. Very curious to see what gifts I'll get this year. Yeah, I'm already at that age where it's like you kind of stop caring. It's more about giving gifts. But anyway, should be exciting week of the holidays, and we got a Hawks game to look forward to tonight before the break. Yeah.
Justin just stopped believing in Santa this year. Was this the year that the parents finally gave up the jig?
Finally figured it out. Yeah. I mean, it's like you pretend to believe in him for a very long time so you can keep getting more gifts, right? Nah, I'm just kidding. It was a little while ago, but
Oh
not
yeah,
quite
no, not kidding. I mean, your mom might be watching this back, so maybe she'll figure out your secrets. But
Yeah. Yeah, she's on to me.
that's fun. That's fun. Do you guys have any I don't know, anything like hockey related you guys do, or do you guys like go to a game this time of year? Do you guys like go ice skating? Or
I
no?
always like doing that. I always like getting back on the ice. Chicago has like that ice skating ribbon downtown. I don't know like going on that this time of year. Just getting back into that. And yeah, we always go to games this time of year for sure. But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't say we have any like hockey traditions on Christmas or anything like that. No, just family stuff. Yeah, obligations, things like that. Yeah.
I think we're going to talk a little World Juniors style. That's about as hockey Christmas
Oh
tradition
yeah,
as
no,
for me.
that's a big one. We're always watching the World Juniors this time of year. Well, I am. I always love that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to Raven for holding down the fort. Oh, I think I shut off my audio there for a second. Thanks to Raven for holding down the fort.
Yeah. Thank you.
You and Lee are doing a live stream tonight, correct?
That is correct.
That's right. Yeah, we will be live streaming this game against the Wild tonight. I'm sure that'll be a very fun live stream with Lee in the studio as well, joining me and Raven. So very much looking forward to that. Hopefully, Hawks will give us a good game to cover here, good response, and yeah, very excited for that for sure.
And hopefully, maybe we might have our new camera by that time. So
Well, there you go. And you
should
guys
be
can
delivered
subscribe
today.
to YouTube
Should be
to see
delivered
that.
today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're getting new cameras in the mix. We're getting new everything. So
Perfect
that's
time to
cool.
do it. Yeah, it's a good time, good month, and only a few games left here until the Winter Classic. 3 more. I feel like we're at the point where we got to mention every show, right? The
Oh yeah.
momentum building up to it for sure. So, yeah, very much looking forward to that.
Everybody make sure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. It's been growing a lot the last even couple of days since we did the post game show on Saturday. Like we
Yeah,
got
close to 300, right?
Yeah, we're like 5
Yeah.
away now. So please push it over the line. Make sure you're telling your friends, all that good stuff. Following us on Instagram and leaving 5-star rating and reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts really helps us out a lot. But thank you to everybody that's been doing that. It really warms our Grinch hearts, makes it grow 3 times in size or whatever the story is. But yeah, no, keep doing that stuff, and it
Yeah.
means a lot.
We'll
Uh,
pass 300 on the live stream tonight, I think. That's my prediction. That should be our goal. Me and Lee, we'll make that happen.
Ooh. And then we're only
Yeah,
700 away from Lee getting a tattoo. So,
there we go. That's not very far. Maybe this season we could still do that. Who knows? Yeah.
I've totally gaslit him to the point where he thinks he made this tattoo agreement and he never did. I just have been putting it out there so much that he eventually will believe. He'll be like, "Yeah, all right, I might have said it." And
You
then,
say it enough times, he'll think that. Yeah, there's a
yeah.
psychology to that for sure.
All right, do you want to start with Saturday against the Flames?
Yeah, a little bit of cleanup
Clean
there. I
up?
mean, kind of brought up in the post game show. Yeah, I mean, rough first 40 minutes. And Bedard kind of mentioned this in his clip, which we'll hear from in a bit. But if you play the way he did in the third period, the whole game, like that's a win for the Hawks, right? It was kind of similar to the first Islanders game, when they played them back to back. So I mean, a lot of good things to take away, right? But 3-point game for Bedsy, which is nice. He and Bertuzzi showed good chemistry, and they're going to stay together. I like that Sorensen's kept Hall and Bertuzzi with Bedard. I think that's a good line there. And Flino and Donato with Nazar. So we'll see that rolling today. Otherwise, everything else is the same. But I thought they show really good chemistry, those two, Hall and Bedard, and Bertuzzi and Bedard as well. So that was my main positive takeaway. But yeah, definitely the defense left a bit to be desired. And Mrazek's first game back was rough. Seth too, but you know what? They both got that rust on kind of figured out now. So hopefully today will be a more positive game. Although the Wild are a tough opponent. They've kind of had our number recently too. So we'll see how that goes.
Wild have lost like 4 in a row though. They got
Yeah,
dusted to Winnipeg the other night.
you would think that would be a positive thing, but I look at that and think, well, crap, they're due, and they're playing the Blackhawks, who they own. So, I mean, you're right, but that's
I didn't say it was a positive. I
yeah,
pointed it out. I just pointed it out. They've lost 4 in a row,
they
something like
have. Hopefully, we can make it five. That five looks that's a good number. Five losses in a row. Let's make that happen.
that.
Yeah,
Um, okay. Well, yeah, I didn't love Peter Mrazek in the
yeah,
game
he was rough.
the other night. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that at all. Sorry for everybody for my setup too here. Um, but I didn't love Peter Mrazek. I thought he let in a couple of softies. I thought the
Yeah.
Nazem Kadri goal was a softie. The Coronado one, like that kid's got a good shot, but even still, like you could probably stop the puck there a little bit. And um, yeah, I didn't love a lot of the goals. Seth Jones gets burned on the Huberdeau one. I
Mm.
know that too, but Nazar gets burned too on the same play. Like, Nazar is probably the fastest player on the Blackhawks right now, and you let 32-year-old Jonathan Huberdeau, like leave you in his dust. I don't know, man.
Yeah, those look like Panthers, Huberdeau.
Yeah. No, he did. He really did. He
Yeah.
really did. So, that was a bit of a bummer for me. And, just the idea of like, hey, we're gonna it just like okay, so the Senators lost yesterday to the Oilers and they lost Linus Ullmark, right? And it felt like even though they lost the game and the winning streak was over, nobody was upset about it. You know what I mean? Like nobody was like, and I get it. There's some guys that aren't really upset about this because Bedard had a really good game and this and that. But yeah, you and Lee,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. I understand your point though.
But I don't know that you could be like that thrilled with the rest of the effort from like the Senators put up a really good team effort for a full 60 minutes yesterday. And you lost the guy who's been the best goalie in the National Hockey League over the last month, at the start of the game. So,
Mhm.
like the Blackhawks, it's not like you could say, hey, that was an awesome effort through the whole game. And you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
no.
that's
If the game
okay,
if the
No.
game ended after the second period, which I was joking my parents, like might as well just end the game now the way those first two
Yeah.
periods went. So I do think it's like recency bias, right? You tend to kind of look at what happened the most recently. So the third period was just really fresh in my mind, but it's easy to forget how bad those first two periods were. That's probably the worst they've looked under Sorensen. Otherwise, I think it's been pretty good so far. So yeah, from that aspect, that wasn't great. Also, it did feel like a game of Solomon was in. Maybe the Hawks win that game, just the way he's been playing too. I think, like you said, Peter, a couple muffins there. So again, it's always if, but I would have minded if they started Arvid that game. But again, that's in the past. I am curious to see what happens today. We haven't got any news yet, but I would go back to Arvid Soderblom today, but I'm not sure if they will. We'll see what happens there. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure we could find out here pretty soon on DFO. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't love it. I totally thought that you could have walked away with the 2 points from that game and a
Yeah.
team, Lee is banging his head over a wall saying that they're not going to make the playoffs and that they have zero chance at making the playoffs and you lose to them and I don't know. I don't know. Show a little more fight, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought they
In the
showed a
third
lot
they
of
showed
fight
fight.
when it was too late, right? Like the Islanders game, right? Like show that fight the entire game, right? Don't put yourselves in situations where you have to make these massive comebacks, right? Which has been something they've had to do. So I think that's your point, but no, I think I am happy with some of the pushback they had. I think an earlier Hawks team under Richardson probably wouldn't have had that type of comeback. But again, you got to seal the deal though, and they didn't. Yeah.
Um, what else here? I'm looking at your notes. Teravainen, 10 points in his last 4 games.
How
Mikheyev
about
scored
that?
the goal.
Yeah, McKay have 4 straight games of a goal as well. I'm gonna hedge a bet that he hasn't done that in his career. I could be wrong about that. And yeah, Turbo 10 points in 4 games. That's wild. See if he can keep that going. I mean, the way those two are playing, I understand keeping them together on that third line with Dickinson too. But I don't mind the idea of just throwing them up there at Bedard. But again, I mean, we'll see what happens there. But I mean, I think Hall Bertuzzi flanked with him makes sense too. But no, Turbo, it's just good to see him getting going here. I think he's playing the way he should be. Hopefully, he can keep it going because he's been pretty hot and cold this year, pretty streaky. So see more consistency out of him would be nice. And McKayev too. I mean, because he's not really a player I have a lot of expectations with, but the way he's playing, it's like, I mean, he's playing to his potential right now. I think he's been a big boom to this team. Every time you're out there, like he's out there on the ice recently, it's like you notice him, he's making plays. So good to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different, right? Because I feel the same way almost about McKay, and this is going to come out wrong, but I feel the same way about Mikheyev that I do about Teravainen, right? In that you want to see it more so spread out as opposed
Mm,
to these short bursts of,
yeah, yeah,
like, hey, oh, Mikheyev's got 4 straight with a goal. Okay, well, is he going to go the next 14 without one now? Or, and same thing with Teravainen, like, and Teravainen even more so because he's a more
better
integral
player.
piece. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
better player.
yeah,
Like he's a bigger cog into the machine of the Blackhawks winning hockey games, right? So if he goes, now that he's had 10 points in 4 games, if he has 4 points in his next 10 games now,
yeah.
you know, how many of those games are the Hawks winning? One, two, maybe, right?
Exactly, and that was kind of the case early in the season. Like he had a really strong month of October. He was right there with Bedsy. Those two were cooking. And then he was invisible in the month of November. So now he's got his game back on track. Let's keep it rolling. He's not going to keep up the 10 points at 4 games pace, but can he be around a point per game? I think he can be. I think Teravainen could put up 60 points on this Hawks team. I think that's very doable for him. So hopefully we see that at least 50. Because you need more secondary scoring, right? You can't rely on the top guns like Bedsy. You need more production from throughout the lineup. That goes for guys like Mikheyev too, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Mikheyev is just like, can you put 20 in the net? Can you put
I think he's done that.
25 in the net?
I think he's had a 20 goal season in his career. I want to say he had one with the Leafs or something back in the day. That was a while ago, but I mean, it shows he can do it, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
yeah.
I'm looking up if he's had a 20 goal year, but I would
I'm pretty
assume
sure he has. I think he had one in there. Yeah,
uh he does. He
that's
does.
right. Yeah,
21-22. He had 21 goals, 11 assists for 32 points in 53 games.
there we go. Very nice.
On pace for close to 20 this year. Probably like 15, 16, 17-ish.
Yeah, the last 4 games, he's definitely helped get that on track, right? We'll see if he does that, but because he's playing more of a bottom six role, it's not like we expect him to be the offense guy because all this year he's been a really strong defensive forward. So it's like any offense he provides is a bonus. So the way he's playing lately, it's like, yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if he keeps it up, but I'm not really expecting it. But you need more production from guys throughout the lineup too, like him in his position, like him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. Well, should we do some clips? You want to do some
Oh
clips?
yeah. Yeah, sure. I think let's start with Tyler Bertuzzi here. We talked a little bit. I know Lee was ranting about Martin Popsicle's hits the other day, and Bertuzzi had some thoughts on that, so we can hear what he has to say about it. Yeah.
Possible on the other side, a bit of the thorn today. Is that fair to say? I mean, he's playing hard. It's just how he plays. A couple good hits. Obviously we reacted the way we should, but no, he's playing hard.
Yeah, that was it. It's really quiet. It's how it is, but he wants
Oh
the
yeah,
hits
no, I was listening to it. I was listening to it on the thing.
on the delay. I know. I just don't want to give some
Oh yeah.
clear air.
Yeah, for
Oh
those who
yeah.
couldn't hear it, basically he's just saying like he respects it, right? Like he's playing hard. That's his game, right? That's the way he has to play. So he didn't really have an issue with it. I mean, of course you're going to answer the bell, and he did. So props to him there. I mean, he had a bit of a stick whack. I thought that was actually on Jonathan Huberdeau. I do wonder if he'll get fined for that Bertuzzi, that third period instance there. But yeah, I mean, I think just respect from one agitator to another, which I would say that game yesterday or sorry, Saturday was probably the most like Tyler Bertuzzi game we've seen him as a Blackhawk. Like that is his game, right? Not just providing offense when he can, but being an agitator, being a dick. Like that is what he does. So I love to see that. Hopefully we see more of that from him, right? So yeah,
Yeah, for him it's just about like, can you do that? It's consistency. It's the same thing. It's
yes,
like,
yeah.
and that's the guy that probably I'm most hard on as far as like this guy isn't consistent at all.
Well, you saw that a lot last year at the Leafs.
Yeah, yeah, no, I watched just about 82 games of it, and
Yeah.
it was not what you want from a guy that you give that price tag to,
Mhm.
right?
And we talked
Uh,
about Teravainen being a streaky, hot and cold player. Like Tyler Bertuzzi is even more of that. Like he is a very hot and cold player. So, but I think they've been more consistent under Sorensen. Like we've seen that pretty much every player, for the most part, has been more consistent under him. So, is that just that initial head coach bumper? Is that something to do? Is that more to do with the players? Who knows? But I think that is a encouraging early sign. Hopefully, a sign that can continue. Right? Yeah.
yeah. What's the next clip? Which one did you want
Let's
to hear?
say, yeah, let's hear from Connor Bedard in the third period. He's talking about his connection at Bertuzzi. They connected twice. So, yeah, let's hear him there.
What are you seeing with Tyler at the back door there? Looks like he had a couple of real nice setups. Yeah, I mean he's always finding good ice and battling in front there. It's not an easy job, and for me, I'm just trying to put in an area where he can get a stick on it, and he's doing the hard work. So it's fun when you can know a guy's gonna be there and battling his ass off to put one in.
The connection is so strong.
Yeah, I think he just I mean, like, look, when Bertuzzi's on, he is probably one of the three, four, or five best players on the team, if he's going. When he's not going, he's probably one of the worst guys on the team. Um, it's like, it's like when he's going, like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean by that. But I like how Connor Bedard's given like all the credit there. It's like, yeah, he's doing all the work there, being net front, getting a stick in those positions for those goals. I would argue, no, Connor, you're doing most of the work to find him, right? You're setting him up on a silver platter. So, but he's Mr. Humble. So, but yeah, I like them paired together, right? We saw that a lot in the second half of the game, and I think yeah, today we're going to see them together too with Hall. So I think that could be a good line. Let's get that rolling for a bit. Hopefully, we'll see him continue connecting here. Yeah, that's why Kyle Davidson brought him here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, that's the guy that's like supposed to create space for 98 and supposed to create room and
Mhm.
go to the net and be a pest and get under other guys' skin. And, when he does that, he will be more effective for this Hawks team. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's just good to see him actually playing with Connor too, because like for a lot of the season they weren't even playing together. And like that's the whole reason Davidson brought him is what you mentioned, right? To provide that kind of, provide that in line with Bedard. So we'll see that more consistently now, and hopefully his production will keep ramping up. I think he's got 10 goals now, so on pace for over 20. He should be scoring around 30 goals. Opportunities. I think he's capable of doing that. So we'll see if he can get around there, 25, 30. I think he could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just about, like I said, I've said this since the beginning of the season, like, this guy is not who you think he is, but if like he's never gonna be like he was never gonna be like that 7 year extension, 5.5 million per season kind of guy that I think he thought he would be, when when he was traded to the Bruins at the deadline and had that awesome playoffs, and then it came to free agency and everybody was like, no, we're not signing you to 7 years. And then the Maple Leafs came in with the 1 year deal. And, you have to think that that deal with the Hawks is probably the closest thing to securing the bag that Tyler Bertuzzi is going to get, right? Like there's no other big payday coming at the end of that contract. Like that was
Yeah.
the payday.
Yeah, he saw that check slid to him by Kyle. He was like, yeah, I'd be stupid not to sign this, right? So I think contract's looking pretty good for him. But to be fair, he's starting to play up to it here. I mean, for early in the season, I was like, I'm not loving this, and I still am a little, I'm still on the little fence of Bertuzzi. He still needs to win me over a little bit, but he's starting to. He's starting to win me over. He's been more consistent lately, so let's see more of that from him going forward for sure. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to finish the clips out? Could we?
This next one's yeah, Sorensen on line chemistry, but he's talking about the matchup, upcoming matchup against the Wild. I don't know if there's really much here. Sorensen doesn't really give us much, but I thought, get a Wild clip in there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Not the best track record against the Wild. What do you see as, a challenge for you guys?
Big, heavy team, right? Just like us, lost last game, so they're not going to be happy. But yeah, they're a good team. We know that they got some special players on the other side, and so do we. So it should be a fun matchup.
Wow, he really did not give anything about the game or anything.
That's why I included the clip. Like he was asked the question, "What do you guys need to do differently?" Get out of this funk gets a while, and he really didn't answer the question, which kind of sums up Sorensen. He's a very hard guy to clip because he really does not give you much. But yeah, for the Hawks, I mean, I can't even remember the last time they won at Minnesota. They did beat Minnesota at the UC early this season, but at Minnesota, I don't think they've won there since 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So Raving or somebody can fact check me on that one. But it's been a long streak here. It'd be nice to go into the holidays of a W here. Also, something I want to point out, it's unrelated to the clip, but today's date is December 23rd. Last year on December 23rd, Connor Bedard scored the Michigan, although that was against the Blues, but another Central Division team here at their rink. Maybe we got another Michigan coming here tonight, boys. I don't know. I'm just trying to speak into existence, but something I thought was kind of worth bringing up, I guess.
Could you actually imagine if he pulled off of Michigan tonight and just, yeah, that would be sick.
That would be unbelievable. I could actually watch the game today. My family's actually doing the Christmas parties on, Christmas Eve and Christmas, not the day before. So yeah,
Oh,
please do it when I can actually see it, Connor. So yeah, that'd be sick. Maybe he's just waiting for the Winter Classic to do that. We'll see.
yeah. Oh, if he did that at the Winter Classic too.
Oh, dude, the
Uh,
NHL would have a hard on for that.
I should mention, I know we talked about this, but I did get a reservation Winter Classic week. The day of the Winter Classic, the Gretzky's Basement pop-up.
Oh, nice.
I got a reservation at 8 in the morning on the day of the Winter Classic.
There you go. If there's a day to wake up early, it's that day.
If anybody else is gonna like that week's gonna be fun. There's gonna be a lot of
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And I'm pumped for that Gretzky's Basement thing. It should be pretty fun. But I went and got my reservation for it this morning. Yeah, I would love to see a Michigan goal.
Oh,
Has anybody done the Michigan this year or no?
I don't think
I thought
so.
somebody did it.
Somebody's
Did
attempted
Zegers
it.
did it once?
Zegras, I think he attempted it, but it didn't work out. But Betsy attempted it once. A few players have attempted it, but I don't think anybody's scored in Michigan this season. Don't quote me on that. I feel like I would know that though, and I haven't seen any clips of that this year. Yeah,
I'm looking it up.
yeah.
I am looking it up.
You mentioned Zegras. It's pretty funny. Last year, Zegras scored in Michigan the same day Bedsy did. I don't think there's ever been two Michigans in the same day, but that happened this time last year. That's right. Unfortunately, Zegras is
There
out
were
right
two
now.
Michigans in the same. It was
And he did
Zegers
it
and
right
Carr.
after. Yeah, it's like he saw it like before the game. Was like, wow, it took that personally. So because that's his move, the Michigan. That is the Zegras patented. Oh, he wasn't the first to do it. I think it was Andrei Svechnikov was the first to do it on the
Yeah,
NHL
it
level.
was.
That is. But yeah, the Michigan. Who was the guy? Oh, I'm trying to think of the player on the actual Michigan team who first did it. I
Mike
can't remember
Legg.
his Mike Legg. There you go. Yeah, he is the guy who really spearheaded the whole thing, but it took a while for it to
Well,
reach
there
the
was
NHL.
apparently. I mean, this is a discussion for another day. If you know, one of our guys in the chat could help us out one day. Apparently, it was like well before Mike Legg, players had
Oh,
been doing the Michigan, and apparently it was called the high wraparound, the high wrap.
high wraparound. Oh, okay.
And apparently this was the thing, but Mike Legg, got Mike Legg did it on television, and
Yeah.
like people were amazed by it, and that was kind of the story. But somebody could find us more of the history of that, or maybe I'll sit down and do it one of these days.
All the
Uh,
cross players are pulling that move off of ease.
yeah. Um,
Although I played lacrosse and I never scored a Michigan goal, but no, I didn't. I just wasn't. I wasn't like that. I didn't have that type of talent.
that's like the box lacrosse move. Like they do that in indoor lacrosse a lot, where
Yeah.
you literally like go flying because the crease is a little bit bigger in outdoor lacrosse, so it's hard to like fully, but like you see guys like dive from behind the net and like
Oh,
just like
sure.
tuck it around. It's a big indoor lacrosse move. Shout out producer Spencer is a big lacrosse head.
Oh,
So
very nice. Very cool.
yeah, a big string head. So
Nice. Very cool.
all right. Thoughts on tonight other than Tyler Bertuzzi and the Wild, maybe using this as a get right game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty nervous for this game tonight, not gonna lie, because the Wild. I mean, I know they've lost four straight, so that should be a positive for the Hawks going to this game. But I look at that as that team is pissed off, right? They want to break this drought, especially heading to the holidays, so they're gonna be playing pretty hard. Hawks too, though, coming off a loss, a game they probably should have won. That could have made a four-game winning streak, but didn't happen. So I think they'll be looking for a response too. I think it's gonna be two teams playing pretty fired up, pretty agitated heading to the break here. You got a few days off here, like 3 days. I think the Hawks don't play again until Friday, so it's like lay everything you got on the line for this game. I think it'd be nice if Hawks come away with a dub here, at least a close game. Me and Lee will be live streaming along with Raven in the studio. I'll bring that up again, so I hope it's just a fun game for us to cover. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, am I feeling a W? Probably not. If I were to do predictions, I'd probably say we lose this game. But I'd love to be proven wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't thinking it until you said it, but now I'm like, oh, the Wild are going to use this as a get right game for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, because they have even more incentive than us, right? Especially because they're in the thick of it, right? They're like 20, 10, and 4. Really in that playoff mix. They don't want this thing to spiral out of control and, lose that great start they had this season. So they're definitely playing for a little more than we are. Although we're not, I want to say the Sabres losing streak, actually, we're no longer in last. We were last for a few hours, but the Sabres lost again to the Bruins. We'll get into the NHL. That was pretty embarrassing L for them, but we're actually in 31st. So hopefully we're not the team to, on Friday, we're to let Buffalo get that first win, right? That would kind of suck. I hope
I
that
like,
doesn't happen.
dude, they had their game day post on Instagram for the Sabres are playing the Islanders tonight. And I like checked the comments like 15 minutes after they posted it. And there were already like 200 comments on it being like, we're already down 4-0. Like this is, a bunch of emojis of like guys holding up the number 14 or whatever. And Yeah,
14. It's funny. I
yeah.
almost hope the Sabres win tonight just to remove any like doubt about them because I do worry that we would be the team to screw that up. I really don't want to be. I really don't want to be put in that position. So
That would be tough.
so I kind of hope the
Definitely tough.
Sabres win today, to be honest with you, but they probably won't.
Are they in Buffalo or are they on Long Island?
Oh, good question. I don't know. But Hawks are in mini. But in terms
The
of
Hawks
the
are.
that's another reason I don't feel good about this matchup. I think we're at the UC having that home ice advantage, but Minnesota, we always struggle there.
They're on Long Island.
Okay, yeah, no. For the Sabres, it doesn't really seem to matter where they play these days. It's the same team. Yeah.
Whoa, Chris Kreider is going to be a healthy scratch today for the New York Rangers.
Is that right? Well, I think he's kind of due for that. Look at his stats. He has like 10 goals and 1 assist this season in
He
like
has two
29
goals.
games.
He has 2 goals in his past 13 games, with New York having lost 9 of them.
Well, there you go. I think that was kind of warranted. I know they were kind of his name was put out there a lot along with Truba. I wonder if they're still. I mean, right now is a roster freeze, but I wonder if they're still shopping him. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty. That sucks for him, but I think that's probably pretty due. Well, they're playing pretty soon here. Yeah, these noon games, man. That's pretty wild. Devils. That's a
Uh,
good rivalry. Not to get away from the Hawks here, but yeah.
yeah, I don't know I don't know how much we could like tee up this game. I mean, things are bad, they're not bad in Minnesota. I don't know. I don't know. I think they're in that group of teams that could win a few rounds in the playoffs. I don't know if I'm going to say they're a Stanley Cup threat
Yeah.
quite yet. But then again, I like look at the team and it's like, okay, well, what else do you need? You have
Hmm.
an uber superstar in Kirill Kaprizov.
Mhm.
You have other really good complementary pieces up front like Rossi and Boldy, and you know what I mean? Like some of these guys, I love the fact that Matt Zuccarello is still as good as he is
Mhm.
at this age and able to produce at the rate he does. Like I think that's pretty crazy. Um, but and then the back end is like honestly probably one of my favorite back ends in the entire National Hockey League
Mhm.
between Faber and Brodin and all these players. Spurgeon has been really nice, like a nice story this year after going through it last year and not really playing. Um, I don't know, but like, what do you think the Wild need if they're
Um,
to actually like not Minnesota Wild this in the first round of the playoffs this year?
yeah,
Like,
looking at their top six, like it's strong. You got Kaprizov, you got Boldy, Rossi, right? Zuccarello, Eric Sinek, but it seems like there's kind of a missing piece there. I feel like they could use like one more top six piece in that squad. I'm not sure who it would be, what type of player they want, but maybe they could use a little more depth scoring. Especially look at the stats because you got such a high your core trio that was producing quite a bit, but then there's a bit of a drop off there. So I kind of in the same veins as you. Like I think they've been a good regular season team. I'm not sold they're going to be a good playoff team. Although Gustin has been good in net, but it's like if he goes down, then you got to rely on 40-plus-year-old Marc-Andre Fleury, which I don't know if you feel great about that. The decor is good, right? Faber kind of and Brodin and then etc. But I don't know. I'm not sure they're a playoff squad. We'll see. Yeah.
you're not sure if they're a playoff squad. They're definitely a playoff
No, they're
squad.
a playoff squad. I'm not sure if they're like a. I'm not sure if they're a squad built for the playoffs. Is what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's
if that makes sense. Because I'm also going off their past history. Like, when was the last time the Wild actually won a playoff round? Like, they're like the Leafs of the West here. Like, seriously. I'm actually gonna look that up. So I generally couldn't tell you the last time they won a round.
the last time they won a round. I have no idea. I mean,
Let's
AI
see.
will tell you in 2 seconds. So
2014-15 season when we beat them in the second round. That is the last time they won. So that was 10 years ago. Last time they won a playoff round. So that's another reason I'm not really sold on them.
that's pretty intense, and honestly, something that I feel like not many people talk about. Like the fact that they've won one round in 10 years.
That's wild.
That's Minnesota Wild, baby. That's Minnesota
Yeah.
Wild.
I didn't even know what I saw. I was not even going for that pun there. But yeah, they literally are the Leafs and then nobody really talks about that the same way they did with they finally broke that trout not last year, the year before that, but the Wild, I don't hear that same type of probably just because it's not the same, it's not Toronto. But yeah, I mean Minnesota state of hockey, you think that'd be a little more under scrutiny there, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, Philip Gustafson, yeah, he's the likely starter tonight. He's all right.
He's had a good season, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
224 GA, 922 save percentage. That's got to be up there. I
Is he
mean,
really rocking a 922?
yeah, I mean, I imagine only Hellebuck, maybe Stolars has better save percentage than that. I'm just going off of my head here. That's pretty. I did not realize his stats were that good.
And he's got a
Fleury's,
goal this year too.
that's right, he does. So he's doing everything for that team. Yeah, they've had. I think that's a big part why they've had a better season because goaltending has been a bit of an issue for them past couple of years. But Gustin's always shown some potential. So when he's playing to that, they got the defense and the offense has been producing. Like they got kind of all facets covered there. Also, I also want to mention I've been to the Excellent Energy Center. I think that's the best league in the NHL. Like we can have another discussion there, but I think that's the best arena in the NHL in my opinion.
Really?
XL Energy Center. That place is jumping, man. It's massive. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'd love to see more games there. I was there. What was it? Spring break 2016, I want to say. I saw a game there. It wasn't against the Hawks. It was just some random. I can't even remember who they played, but yeah, such a nice rink there.
Yeah. The World Juniors are next year
Oh yeah,
after
we should go to that.
Ottawa this year. Yeah, dude, that's like my goal. That's the dream is
I've never seen an international hockey game. That'd be awesome.
an international. I've seen like obviously like some of the lower level stuff that I've been working on, but none of like the top. I want to see like a top flight world championship game. An Olympics game would be crazy. An
Oh
Olympic
yeah.
game would be so much fun.
No, that'd be sick. Yeah, World Juniors there next year. Well, I think that's the first time they've been in the U.S. since Buffalo. I want to say 2018, if on top of my head. So that'd be cool. Oh, Minnesota is there's gonna be a lot of Canadians there too. But if there's any state that's worthy of having the World Juniors, it's Minnesota. I mean, that's the top hockey state there. So yeah.
Um, 2017 or 2018 was in Buffalo, New York, and that was the last time it was in the United States. You're
That's
right.
remember they did that outdoor game between the U.S. and Canada. And I remember the U.S. won that in the shootout. That was a pretty fun game. I want to say Brady Tkachuk. I want to say he had the winner. Don't quote me on that. I like spitballing things in my head that might be true but might not be. So anyway, everybody
It's
else
okay.
could.
Been in Canada 4 times since then.
Yeah. U.S. kind of had their number, although Canada did beat them the last time they played in the 2023 World Juniors. I remember that. They will be playing again. They will be playing together again this year. I think New Year's Eve, right? Aren't they playing after the Winter Classic, USA and Canada, if I'm
Oh
mistaken? Yeah.
gosh, you're asking me to do a lot
They
here.
are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
They
So
always play on New Year's Eve. Yeah,
yeah, that's a tradition. So hopefully the U.S. can take that one. Hopefully we'll be able to watch it. Hopefully it's a ways after the Winter Classic, and it's not. We might be doing something. Who knows? But yeah, it should be it's an exciting time of year. Like in my opinion, this is the second best time of year for
yes.
hockey. I mean, after
Canada and
this,
Canada and the U.S. play December 31st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time
there you go. After the
at the
Stanley Cup
Canadian
playoffs,
Tire Center.
very nice. Yeah, because like you got the Winter Classic this time of year, you got the World Juniors, right? It's just such a special time of year, the end of the year, leading into the new year for hockey. It's great. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, uh, our wild talk went to we ended with the World Juniors here, so clearly we're just super amped up for
Well, I
this
think the thing is, I
weekend.
think this is the third time we played them too, so it's like we probably be repeating a lot of things I've already said about them. But yeah, I mean, it's a strong squad. Also, Foligno brothers playing each other again. Marcus, Nick Foligno,
Yeah.
Ryan Hartman, Blackhawks legend, is in their lineup. So yeah, a few storylines to follow here. And they do have some injuries. I think Eriksson Ek's out for them, and he's one of their best two-way players, so that's pretty big for the Hawks. Middleton on D as well. He's had a good season there. So yeah, I think that helps the Hawks as well. Hawks have their share of injuries too, but I mean, it's guys like Martinez and Smith, not quite the same caliber of players, and we are a lot healthier now. With Seth Jones and Peter Mrazek being back, so we'll see. I mean, also goalie matchup, be curious to see. But yeah, Gustin should be in net for the Wild, and we'll see what happens with the Hawks. But
Says Mrazek is the likely guy, but
uh,
unconfirmed.
yeah, I don't like that. I feel more confident in Soderblom, which is not something I would have said last season, but this season, the way he's playing, yeah, I'd much rather see Arvid. But maybe the guy get Peter warmed up for the Winter Classic there. Yeah.
Do you know there's a hockey game that starts in like 10 minutes. Devils Rangers in 10 minutes.
That's right. Yeah, it's a good rivalry there. Other
Devils Rangers, no Chris Kreider, 10 minutes from now.
All right. Rangers 16-16-1, man. Jeez. It could be below 500 after that game. What a disaster of a season they're having. And I'm all here for it. How about that 8-game sussy for Matt Rempe? That
Oh.
guy's had more suspensions than points in the NHL, I think.
I thought about making that the title for the NHL hour. I mean, we could do this now before we do a quick break, but
Yeah.
uh I mean, I thought the hit was brutal. I didn't like the hit at all on Heiskanen,
Yeah.
but 8 games is a lot for that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot just because of who he is, right? He's kind of a he's hardly played any games in the NHL, and he's already kind of a repeat offender. He's already got himself into situations like that a lot, so it's like they want to crack down on it. Um, with him though, it's like he's kind of the last of a dying breed. It's like that's like all he does. He's an agitator. He doesn't really have any skill or talent. So he's definitely like one of the last of the goons. Definitely an
All
old school
right,
hockey player.
I got some fun Matt Rampy stats.
Here we go.
22 NHL games,
Two
95 penalty
points.
minutes, 6 fights, 4 ejections, 11 games suspended, 2 points in the National Hockey League. He's gonna forfeit 80 grand of his salary for this 8 game suspension, so about 10 grand a game. Um, yeah, and I don't know. I think that's a lot of games for you to be suspended. Or this is 12 games. Which
Uh,
means 18% of career games he's been ejected. He's been
that's
ejected from 18% of his career games in the
That's
NHL.
ridiculous, dude. Yeah, he's not gonna last long in the CHL playing like that. But I think Pyotr Kochetkov had 2 assists the other night, so he has as much points as as Rempe. That's pretty wild. A goaltender. Can't imagine there's been a lot of multi-point games for netminders. That was a pretty interesting stat I saw. Yeah,
Apparently, it happens more often than you thought. I saw
really.
something the
Yeah,
5th time since 2017, and I was like, okay, so
yeah,
this is something that happens like once a year at least.
yeah. That's 5 more times than I would have thought. There we go. It's just that shows the increased offense and worse netminding in the NHL today.
Okay, here's the last Rempe stat I have for you before break.
All right.
So I said the first part of this already, but I didn't say the second part. So through 22 career games, Matt Rempe has 95 penalty minutes.
Okay.
He's just the 10th player since 2000 and the first in more than 10 years to accumulate at least 95 penalty minutes through his first 22 NHL games. So the list is Matt Rempe, Tom Sestito, Chris Barch, David Kochi, Trevor Gillies, Doug Duell, Mike Brown, Rocky Thompson, Jody Shelley, Darcy Hordichuk. Those are the only players since 2000 that have accumulated 95 plus penalty minutes through their first 22 NHL games.
Wow. And he's close to 100 there, the big milestone. Unfortunately, he got
And he's
suspended
on the
until he
low,
could get to
he's the
that.
low end of those guys. Like
Really?
95 is the least out of all of those.
Wow, that is insane, dude.
Yeah.
Well, good for him, I guess. If that's what he's going for, then there you go. You're succeeding. Before we go to break though, I gotta get my prospects talking here real quick before
Oh,
you cut
sure.
me
Do
off.
it. Do
Hogs
it.
won 5-1 yesterday against the Moose. They did lose them Friday, but I thought that was a good response. Also, my boy Roman Kantz in the KHL. I've guessed up a few times. I think he had 2 goals again today, 17 points in 80 games for him, so he's having a good season there. Just had to get my quick prospects jibe in there. But yeah, in terms of the Hawks, right? Big game today, and then don't play again until Friday against the Sabres, Sunday against the Stars. So yeah, hopefully we can get a W today leading into the break. We'll see. Should be a good game. We will be there. We will be live streaming it. So get subscribed to the YouTube and ring those bells if you want to see that. Should be a lot of fun with Lee. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, shoot. Should we take a break?
sure. Yeah.
Cool. All right, break on the other side. Vancouver Canucks talk
Oh boy.
on the other end of it. Keep it here.
All right, everybody. All right. Tassos will be right back. He had to do something in-house real quick, but Justin and I will be taking it away at the start of this NHL hour for us.
Very nice. Yeah. I think to lead us off, yeah. I mean, we'll have hockey games tonight, but then we got holiday break from the 24th, 26th for Christmas. NHL loves giving their players the holidays, so I think that's pretty nice, right? Get to spend time with some family, right? Kind of recharge after, a long, grueling season. So I kind of like that. Other sports still play, but NHL is like, nah, let you guys have that off. So
I think that's one of the best things about NHL because it's like NBA, you're playing, NFL, there's some games, like they really allow them to really just spend time with family and not really travel a lot, not have to worry about getting traded too is a big thing that I think is really cool about this sport.
Yeah, the roster freeze is nice. Yeah.
I feel like that's a newer development though. I don't know when the roster freeze actually.
Yeah, that's always been a thing, right? Yeah.
Has it? I don't think so.
Yeah, it hasn't always.
I can search it up.
I don't think the holiday break hasn't always been a thing either, right? Isn't that kind of recent? Or maybe I'm wrong about that.
Well, I'll look up the last time the NHL played games on Christmas.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I swear it hasn't always been a thing.
Oh, you got to talk. Well, somebody's got to talk.
Yeah, but to filibuster, how about
so here we go. I got it.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. The silence was enough time. The final Christmas game in the NHL was between the Los Angeles Kings and the California Golden Seals. To give you an idea of how long ago that was.
Okay, yeah, that was like 50 years ago.
December 25th, 1971.
There you go. Yeah, the second I heard the Golden Seal, I was like, okay, yeah, I was on to nothing there. It's
They
been a
won the
long
game.
time.
They
There
won
you
the
go.
game.
Half a century ago, last time NHL played on Christmas. How about Christmas Eve? I'm just kidding.
Do you know who scored the final Christmas goal in NHL history?
Sorry, between who won that game again to give me an idea?
The Golden, in case you have the 1971 Golden Seals roster.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, I couldn't even tell you. No, I couldn't even guess.
Dan Gilbertson is his name.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that a billion years. Not even my hockey knowledge could figure that out.
Shout out Stan.
There you go. Part of history there.
Hey, if you take the letters from Santa, you can get Stan out of it.
There you go. I guess that was meant to be, right? It was in the script. Very nice.
All right. There's a lot of games in the NHL today. I know it's nice that they give the guys a break, but 13 games or something today, right?
Yeah, and then you gotta get home for Christmas Eve, so it's a pretty quick turnaround there for your 1-2 day vacation. But yeah, in addition to the Hawks Wild game, which we talked about, Rangers Devils are starting right now. Jets Maple Leafs too, pretty soon. Got a nice Bruins Capitals, pretty good rivalry matchup there as well. So and yeah, Blues Red Wings too. So yeah, a lot of good games today. Lightning Panthers, didn't they just play each other? They played each other yesterday, right?
Played yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I like when the
played
NHL
again,
does that, like these kind of baseball, I like how they do that, kind of like back-to-back
They're in Florida
matchups,
today,
right?
though.
Okay, so that changed up. Yeah,
They
that's a
did
good
that,
matchup.
the Habs, like the home and home, the back-to-back home and home.
Yeah,
Habs
Wings and
did
Caps
that
did
last
their-
weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Wings and Habs did that. I like that NHL's doing that more often, right? Like these series, like baseball. I like that. That's cool. Battle
You
of
want to hear
Florida's
something
always
funny
fun.
about the Florida thing that I saw? I have a funny Florida Panthers stat for you.
Let's hear it.
So the Florida Panthers scored I want to say it was their 9th and 10th shorthanded goals of the season. And let's see if I can drag this out long enough to get the correct stat here. Okay. Florida's penalty kill almost scores as often as the Islanders' power play. The Islanders' power play is operating at 12%. The Florida Panthers score on 10% of their penalty kills.
Oh my gosh, that just shows you how bad the Islanders' power plays are. 12%. Did I hear that right? That is ridiculous. But 10% shorthanded though. That's pretty
Yeah, that's 1 out of every 10 opportunities you're putting one in the net shorthanded.
Wow, it's almost like that's a strategy. Get shorthanded. There is some something to say for that. More open ice, right? Some teams thrive on shorthanded. Yeah.
That's still funny though that the Islanders power play is 12% and oh boy.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's pretty brutal. Yeah, a lot of other good games tonight. We got Flyers, Penguins, Battle of Pennsylvania. That's always a fun one. Good rivalry there. The Canadians all of a sudden with Patrick Laine back, they look like a hockey team. They won their last two against the Red Wings. Laine's been cooking on the power play. All 8 of his goals, I believe, are still on the power play. I think he's second in the league in power play goal production, and he's been playing, just in December. That's pretty crazy.
he has the
Yeah.
second most power play goals in the NHL, and he's only played 9 games.
He's been doing the old Ovi strat, just standing on the circle, getting those one tees. That's how he scored all his goals. That's working for them. So props to him there. Yeah.
He has the second most power play goals. He's tied with Kyle Connor, Brady Tkachuk, and Andrei Svechnikov with 8. Braden Point leads the league with 11.
He's quietly having a really good season, Brady Point. He tends to do that. He tends to be having these crazy seasons. It doesn't really get talked about enough, I think, in terms of elite players in the NHL. He's definitely up there.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can the Sabres break their losing streak tonight? I mean, we kind of teed up a little bit in the Hawks hour, but they're trying to avoid 14 straight losses here against the Islanders. I mean, that looks like a team you would be able to break it against, but I mean, it's the Sabres. I mean, I don't know if there's any really team that looks good for them these days.
I wanted to shout out one player on the Islanders, actually, Isaiah George got his first NHL goal. Been
Oh,
really
yeah.
high on this kid for a few years now, and the Islanders like called him up. He was playing with the London Knights last year, and they called him up, and they haven't been able to take him out of the lineup, and he's scored his first NHL goal. It was the game winner against the Maple Leafs in front of all of his hometown family and friends and all that. So, that was a
Yeah,
really cool moment.
that's
I
good for
like
him. Yeah.
as if the Islanders needed another stud defenseman on the back end, but yeah, Isaiah George. Remember the name.
Remember
Remember.
the name. That's right. That's a good song. Remember the name. Used to listen to that before all the hockey games in the locker room. Yeah, the Sabres. How about the way they lost that game against the Bruins? Who was it? Was it Samuelson who dumped the Bruins guy into his own goalie
Oh, I
there
know.
and lost the game? Like that's like the most Sabres way to lose a game, dude. Jeez,
Oh,
that was wild. I keep saying wild today. It's like my mind is so entrenched in the Minnesota Wild. I can't stop saying that. But yeah, the Sharks Canucks too. That should be a pretty good one there. The Canucks, they got some
all
drama
right.
going on.
Is
Want
that
to talk
is that
about the
our
Miller?
segue?
And that's
Is
our
that our
segue to the
segue?
Miller Pettersson situation. Everybody's talking about. I feel like we have to mention it, right? We have to bring it up, not to speculate, but what's going on there because both players are they've kind of shot it down, but the media keeps chirping about it. So what's going on there?
Okay, well, I mean, every question from the Vancouver media is about this.
Yeah.
So, one, I can see why these guys are super frustrated about
Hmm.
it. I mean, I must have watched the clip that we're gonna have Raven play in a second here, the Elias Pettersson one, the first one. I must have watched it 10 times because I was just shocked that he was like, I don't know why you guys are continuing to make this stuff up, except he didn't say stuff. And then the next person is like, so about the thing with you and JT, and Elias is like, are you serious? And then he just like walks away. And then, we'll play the JT Miller one afterward. That's like, hey, I'll go get Elias and we could do this
Yeah.
together. Now, Bruce
Ugh.
Boudreau went on Vancouver Talk Radio. He said that when he got there, he thought that this was resolved and that it wasn't. And now this
Yeah.
is still something we're talking about. And I just, I saw a clip today that Chicklets put out their episode today. Normally they release on Tuesdays, but they put it out today for the holiday.
Mhm.
And I saw they had a clip where, they're talking about trading one of these guys. And oh, did we lose Justin? Oh no. Yeah, well, we lost Justin. They talked about trading one of Elias Pettersson or um JT Miller and what that would look like and how they would be able to do that and what that would like, how would you be able to trade one of those guys? And if you are going to trade one of those guys, who does it look like you're going to trade? Realistically, JT Miller is the guy that you want more in playoff time, come crunch time, and Pettersson's the guy that'll probably get you more in a trade. But if you're talking about who you're going to hang on to, you're probably going to hang on to Elias Pettersson because he's young, he's 5, 6, 7 years younger than JT Miller. The offensive upside is probably the same, if not higher, for Pettersson than it is for Miller. And I just think that it's a big deal here. Okay, Raven, if we're not going to get Justin back here, could we play the clips, the Miller? Could we play Pettersson first and then Miller? The order I sent them to you in.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Well, I set you off with it.
Well, it's the same answer. It's good. I don't know why people still try and make it up. Excuse my language, but yeah, that's my response to it.
So it hasn't been distracting you?
Oh my God. Next question.
Wow.
I am back. Very sorry about that. My useless battery died. So, but anyway, we're back now. Continue with your Miller Pettersson situation drama.
Oh no, I was. I mean, if I chirp Lee for this kind of stuff, I do got to chirp you. So, is this your first time podcasting, Justin? No? Oh, it might be. Oh, I don't think you can hear me chirp him. That's okay.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You didn't hear me chirp you. I said, "Is this your first time podcasting?"
Oh yeah, no. So then the headphone wasn't plugged in either. So we're just having a really good day today.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
all right. I always chirp everybody on their setup, and here I am, just like leaned up against the foot of the bed here, just trying to get some semblance of quiet in a house full of people. So
The good news is I think I got potentially have, I don't want to speculate. I think I have a new laptop coming for Christmas. So the battery on that is much better. Well, I should have plugged it in. That's on me. But in my defense, this thing is a piece of shit, but the next one's gonna be a lot better. So the setup will be much better moving forward for sure.
Yeah, Justin did pull up with a laptop from 1995 to the office the other day. It was pretty good. So I just played the Pettersson clip, or Raven just played the Pettersson clip. We listened to it, and then Raven said, "Wow," and then you joined right away. You saw the clip that I'm talking about, right?
I have, yes, I've had.
Yeah, where he walks away. I mean, I just he's like, "Oh my God," and yeah, I don't know. Can we play the Miller one now too?
Yeah, let's hear that.
You bothered by the reporting about you and Petey?
I'm not. Listen, you guys, in a sense, out of the outer world, have created this thing. Like, this isn't a thing. So, am I bothered? No, but you guys are just wasting your time.
How tired are you about hearing of it?
I don't care. You guys want to talk about it? You want to ask me? Ask me all you want. I can bring up Petey and we can do the interview together if that would make you guys happy.
What about shutting out the noise, JT? This team has always been so good about it, no matter what year it is, about anything regarding the team.
Listen, I have a lot of stuff to worry about right now for myself. I'm not worried about any noise. The noise is between my ears, and I'm trying to figure out how to play a good 200-foot game for the team.
But you know what you mean to this group, and Petey obviously knows what he means to this group, and right now not a whole lot happening for either one of you guys. Like, can this team get where it needs to go without production from you two?
Where do we want to go?
I would assume to the playoffs first of all,
right.
And beyond that.
Okay. So it'd be great if we could have 100 points for sure. That would be ideal, right? So we're just trying to play the right way. Points will come when they come.
Oof. That was a rough watch.
That's awkward, man.
I would like to say to the one person who asked him, "Well, that would be interesting if you went and got Petey for the interview," to stop asking questions to these people. That is my 2 cents.
I thought Larry Brooks was in New York. I didn't realize he was hanging out in Vancouver too. But yeah, no, the drama over there is something else.
One of the guys from the Elias Pettersson one, Raven, is actually frequent guest of my show, Adam Lascaris.
Really? Oh, so he has first-hand account.
I think he was one of the guys asking questions. I might have been wrong. I don't know, but if not, then I put him. I doxed him for no reason. But
I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but I think because JT Miller is out right now, he's back. But I think the 6 games he's been back, Elias Pettersson hasn't recorded a point. I don't know if there's something to that, but I do think that's kind of interesting. I mean, not to speculate on whether there is actual, tension between those two, but I mean, for everything we're hearing, I know they'll deny it, but it seems like there clearly is, and the team's not kind of in a rough spot right now. The Canucks I think
if you have to come out and say like, "Hey, no, we're friends,"
yeah,
like,
then it's
you're not
like,
friends.
yeah, no, I don't get that sense either. It feels like that's a bad thing for a while too. Yeah,
I mean, they're gonna trade one of them, right?
you would think. I mean, of the two. I'm just in their shoes. I'd rather keep Pettersson. I don't know if you agree with that, but I just think he's the more complete player, more important player for the Canucks.
Truth, I'd rather keep Miller, but I know that JT is probably 6, 7 years older than Elias Pettersson, but like, who's the better playoff guy? It's JT Miller. It's you want to go win a Stanley Cup? Who do you want on your team? You want Elias Pettersson or you want JT Miller right now?
I mean, right now, maybe. I just think Pettersson, too. It's like, I think we haven't seen the best version of him yet either. He's still so young. I mean, not that young, but
He's not that young though. You know what I mean? He's
he's
making
not,
11.5 sheets a year, and I don't know.
yeah. No, I just think he has the higher ceiling. He's the better player. I don't know. JT Miller, I've never really been sold on him, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
they love him in Vancouver.
Yeah.
They chant his name when he's not producing, and when he is struggling, they chant his name. I don't know. And Pettersson, they're really hard on.
Yeah, well, the Canucks fans love their players and they're producing, but whether or not, they're definitely under fire. I mean, remember that story of JT Miller? I think it was a few years ago when he was
The
struggling.
pumpkin patch
He and his
story,
family were at the pumpkin patch, and fans are berating him. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you could just support your players and they're doing well.
pumpkin patch gate.
Yeah,
No,
not to chirp Vancouver fans, but yeah.
well, I mean, this is a Chicago show. This is a Chicago hockey show. We can chirp Vancouver fans.
Yeah, no. I don't know how much Vancouver listeners we have. They're probably pounding their laptops right now. Oh,
No, I don't know. No, I agree with you. Like, yeah, okay, smart GM move is to hang on to Pettersson because he's younger and the offensive ceiling is way high. Like, Pettersson could be like a 120-point
oh
guy
yeah.
if he figured it out. And I don't even know what's left for him to figure out
He's a
still.
streaky player, dude. I mean, he definitely goes on these like cold stretches, but when he's hot for sure.
But is it like a care thing? Is it like these thing like maybe there is like serious beef with JT Miller and like that stuff weighs on him, the negativity and the
Yeah.
like what is it he doesn't play with good enough players, which I argue is not the case. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, he's got plenty of good players, though, so I don't think it's that. It could be a locker room thing. Could be maybe just not. It's not tending to be a good fit there at the moment, right? Maybe he needs a change of scenery. But yeah, we'll see what they do there. But it feels like there's something has to give there, or somebody's got to go. Yeah,
The one thing I will say too that I've also learned throughout watching all of this and like watching this unfold again is how much the right choice for Captain Quinn Hughes was.
Mm.
Like that kid is if I'm starting a National Hockey League team right now, and like I don't know that there's many players I pick above Quinn Hughes
I think he's
to
the best
start my
defenseman in the
team around.
league right now. I think so. I
That's
think
a
he's
good.
overtaken Cale Makar, in my
I,
opinion.
I don't think you're wrong. I
Yeah.
don't know. You're wrong, man. I don't.
Because
I don't.
Makar is great, don't get me wrong, but he does get a lot of his production, from playing like guys like McKinnon and Rantanen. And Canucks got some, they got some big pieces on offense, right? Like JT Miller, like Elias Pettersson, like Brock Besser, but it's not really the same caliber as, guys like that, on the Avs. So I think he's just more important to that team's success. I think he's gotten a lot better defensively too. Like he used to be really kind of more of a 4 forward out there, but now he's good on both sides of the puck. So he's kind of ironed out a lot of those kinks. Very consistent too. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Quinn Hughes is really, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the captain for the United States at the Four Nations face-off.
Ooh, really? Yeah, he could
I
be.
wouldn't be.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I
Who
mean,
else
he
is going
is.
to name captain? Austin Matthews? No.
Yeah,
Matthews might not even play.
yeah, it would be a very USA Hockey thing to do to name Matthews captain, but like I think in terms of leaders, I think Quinn Hughes is probably one of the best candidates there for sure. Yeah,
I think Quinn Hughes is turning into one of the best captains in the NHL. Like
yeah,
you hear this guy talk, and maybe I can try and find the clip. I mean, it's from a couple of days before the Pettersson Miller quotes.
yeah.
Like this was from before the weekend, the Quinn Hughes stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. He's so good. He just because remember it was like, oh, are they going to name Pettersson the captain, or are they going to name Quinn Hughes the captain?
That was a big debate. A lot of people thought it should have been. A lot of people actually thought it should have been Pettersson. I think Hughes, like you're right. Like, and since that decision, like it's been a tale of two players there. Like Hughes has stepped up, and Pettersson, maybe he's taking that personally, but not the right way because his game has kind of dropped off a little bit. Maybe that's a part of it too, right? In addition to the drama there with JT Miller.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm a big fan of Quinn and all of these guys, and Um, okay. Well, you know what? Let's actually here, Raven. I'm gonna send you some more clips, okay? I'm gonna send you Rick Tocchet first, and then I'm gonna send you Quinn Hughes second. So you could probably play them back to back, and we could just listen to them both here and soak it all in, and then we could wrap the Vancouver drama on all of this. But remember, these quotes were taken before the Pettersson and Hughes one, or the Pettersson and Miller one. Sorry.
Okay.
Quinn had great.
Yeah, no. Listen, it's all about the crest. It's all about, as long as I coach, it's always about the crest. It's not about the name on the back. And you're going to have arguments. You're going to have fights. I've been fortunate to be a Stanley Cup 3 times, 2 as a coach and 1 as a player. And there's always been something that has galvanized the team or something like that. So whether people are bickering and complaining, it happens all the time. And it's my job to make sure that, guys have a voice and you move on from sort of stuff. But you also got to be mature too. And it's not about, you don't have to play PlayStation together. You don't have to go to dinner with the other. But if it's your turn to go to the net, go to the net. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Is it impacting?
Obviously not to beat around the bush. Everyone knows what the reports are out there. But I think that, everyone expects a lot from each other. There's times where, I get, upset with Millsy. There's times I get upset with Petey. There's times I get upset with Hronek. And that doesn't mean that I don't love those guys and vice versa. And, I'm going to make some bad plays. They're going to make a play where I wish, they saw me here or saw me there. And over the course of playing together for 6 years, I think that those things are normal and they're going to happen. And as far as my leadership, I think just continue to keep everyone on the yellow brick road and what our ultimate goal is, which is short term, having a good game tonight, and long term, being a successful team and getting in the playoffs. 100% I believe it's workable, and I know
It's crazy. It seems just like there's issues all around, up and down.
Does appear that way. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Rick Tocchet, buddy, when he's like, oh, you guys don't have to go and play PlayStation together. I don't know that anybody's ever sounded older ever.
Yeah, that was such a boomer comment, dude. That was kind of out. I mean, Tockett's a great coach, but that was kind of maybe not the greatest choice of words there. Maybe it's just, you can tell, I think it's agitating him too, right? I mean, the Canucks, their play's kind of fallen off. They're only 1 point in a playoff spot right now, a wild card spot. So they've lost more games than they've won, too. They're 16, 10, and 7. So they should be better than that. So I don't think this is helping. Maybe it's a locker room distraction.
No, I don't think it's helping either. But I listen to Quinn and I'm like, man, well, first of all, the Tocchet part where it's like, oh, it's all about the crest. As long as I'm here, it's all about the crest. And it's important, but I liked Quinn when he's like, hey, you got to keep everybody on the yellow brick road. And, he's just such a good leader. I don't know. Would you want Elias Pettersson in Chicago if you could take him?
It depends what the return is, but I'd be interested. We've been talking a lot about getting, that next elite forward to complement Bedsy, and I think, Chicago could rediscover his game. I think I saw Pettersson. Wasn't Pettersson's name floated in the offseason? Wasn't Spin Chicklets or somebody on there who put his name out there? A lot of people were like, "What are you on?" But I think Pettersson now, especially if this drama heating up, he could definitely be on the move in Chicago. Would definitely be, KD should at least take a look. I would think. I'd be interested. I know he's
get it done. Korchinski, a 2026 first round pick.
That's what I worry about. You're gonna have to give up, a pretty elite prospect and a high draft pick. You're gonna need both. So yeah, probably like you said, somebody in that decor. We do have an influx of a bit of a logjam of prospects there. So maybe you get somebody there at a first, and hopefully that's enough. But might need more than that. But yeah, Pettersson, no, to be fair, his value might be a little lower the way his production's dropped off lately. So that could help the Hawks too. So but yeah, if you're giving up somebody, it depends who the prospect is, I guess, in terms of whether it be, down to make that move. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself here because of all the noises going on outside. Yeah, and then you had the Elliot Friedman 32 Thoughts report. What was it? Dylan Cousins and Bo Byram for Pettersson. So, but if that's the move though, if it's 2 elite pieces, right?
Yeah, I think
the Hawks could probably offer that up.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair return there. I think they should definitely be in. I was surprised the Hawks weren't in on the Kakko. Considering what it took to get Kakko, it's a completely different player, right? Completely different situation. But this Kraken did not have to give up much to get him. I hope KD at least took a look at that. But yeah, I think he should at least be in on Pettersson. But I'm not sure if just talks to Chicago, the first team on that list. Probably a few others might be ahead of the trade list there. But the Hawks have traded with the Canucks a lot in the past, though. The Mikheyev trade and then the Bolivier trade recently. Those are kind of lower moves, but you know, in the NHL, GMs too tend to kind of do trades to the same teams, the same GMs, right? They've built that chemistry with. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe I'm on to nothing there. Who knows? But yeah, Canucks tend to be a team the Hawks traded with a good amount. Yeah.
Okay. I don't really got much else to be honest with you. What I think we should do is we should do
I want to
World
mention one more
Juniors.
thing in the NHL,
Oh
actually.
yeah, go for it.
Well, just this interesting because this is a team we've gassed up so much, and yet you look at the standings. The Dallas Stars are out of a playoff spot right now. I know it's only by 1
Wait,
point.
really?
They're out of a playoff spot right now. They're not in the wild card. They're 19-13. Oh, they play the club tonight. But like that's kind of shocking to me. Like look at the standings. I would have assumed they've been top three there, but it is pretty close in the Central Division. I think the Avs are right ahead of them. But I mean, for a team that we glaze so much, I'm not sure what's going on there at the moment. I mean,
Well, I will say the Avs have played 4 more games than the Stars.
yeah, that's true. But still, only 6 games above 500. That's, you know, I expect them to be better than that.
Yeah, I mean they haven't gotten the benefit of like picking up any loser points. Ottinger's had some games that, have been kind of stinkers a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, like he had a stinker against the Maple Leafs the other night, and I don't know. He's been okay. Like when he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. But yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you. I was actually stunned when you just said that. I didn't really realize.
yeah, I thought that was definitely worth mentioning here. Also, Jack Hughes just scored for the Devils. Wait, we could transition to juniors now.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think we should give our gold medal, gold, silver, bronze predictions here, and then
Oh,
maybe get
sure.
get
Yeah.
Lee's later on the live stream, just
Yeah.
so we're all held accountable here.
Oh boy.
Uh, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would be a good. I think that would be a good thing to do.
Home
So,
cooking. I guess I'll start home cooking. I mean, I can't not pick USA for gold medal. I don't know if they will, but you know what? They've never gone back to back, and it feels like this is a year they could do it. Some would argue Canada has a stronger team, but I don't know. I think the US match up pretty well. I think we got a pretty solid squad. A few less snubs compared to Canada. I think it's a pretty deep squad. Very good. The offense is pretty scary. Defense, outside of Zeev is a little iffy at times. Like the third pair maybe could be better. Goaltending is strong. I mean, you got Augustin in that. You got a chance to win every game, and he's been a stalwart in the juniors. So I say U.S. takes gold, and actually, can they even play Canada for silver? Because like they're in the same group, so that means they can't play each other for.
no, they can. It would just have to be like how the bracket works out. How
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think they could. I think they could play for each other for gold.
And I
Yes.
think this is a year where it's like Sweden and Finland, maybe compared to past. I'd say this is definitely a year where it looks like a U.S. Canada gold medal type of year. I hope it is. It seems like that happens every few years, right? 2017 it happened, 2021 it happened. I think that's every 4 years, right? To 2025, that means U.S. Canada gold medal. I think everybody would love to see that. So I'll say U.S. takes the gold over Canada. They take the silver. Bronze, take your pick, man. I mean, so I'll say the Czechs. The Czechs tend to overperform this tournament. I mean, they don't really get as much love compared to the Finns and the Swedes. But so I'll say they surprise for the bronze medal. Why not? Yeah.
Um, I have I have Canada winning gold this year, just because I think I'm going to be the only guy on the show that picks it.
Yeah,
So,
Lee's definitely
and I
won't.
and I think even with the puzzling, like yes, if I were picking the team, Beckett Seneca would be on it, Zane Parekh would be on it,
Nick Lardis, my boy.
Nick Lardis would probably be on it, but
Visa.
I
Yeah.
need him to remain eligible for Team Greece going into the future. So I
Oh,
probably would have
sure.
left him off. I probably would have left him off my roster. But sorry. Yeah, I think Canada's, you got these players like Easton Cowan who's ripping up the OHL, and you got, the Gavin McKenna, the next one is on the
Yeah.
team, and
Mm.
you got the draft eligibles, the Martone, and is Sam Dickinson not on the team
Oh, he should
for
be on the
Team
team,
Canada?
right? He's got to
He
be on the
should
team.
be on the I
No
don't know
way. No
how
way he isn't.
I
No
don't
way.
think he is. And if he
Really?
isn't, dude, I don't think he's on the team.
Well, that's a big reason. Like, I just think like with Canada, they've had this issue in the past too. I think last year's World Juniors, they seem to value experience over skill sometimes. Where if you're a 19-year-old and you're eligible, boom, you're in. But it's like some of these younger players, it's like who are 17, 18, I think are more deserving. A lot of just weird stubs on that team. It's still a strong roster, probably as good as the U.S. But I don't know. I just think the U.S. Roster is a bit better constructed, which is why I give them the edge. Also, because I'm American, so I got to give them the edge, right? What's a kilometer, baby?
Um, oh, Sam Dickinson is on the team.
I
Okay.
thought he was. Yeah,
I
there's no
was
way
gonna
he
say,
wasn't.
dude, that would have been
Yeah, no.
unreal if that guy was not on the team. I
Yeah.
would have, yeah.
I don't love. I like the Alvaro Moores on the U.S., but I don't love that AJ Spells was cut. That's if they lose, I'm blaming that move. Clearly, he would have been the difference maker. But yeah, I'm
I just think
excited.
the US is like a little bit thinner up
Yeah,
front and on the back end than they were last year.
yeah, last year's team was special, man. That might be the best
Yeah.
U.S. World Juniors team of all time. I think it might be one of the best World Junior teams of all time, to be honest with you. I think
Maybe.
the 23 Canada squad has something to say about that. I think that it's hard to beat that team. McKenna, it's going to be very curious to see his type of production because you don't really see these 17-year-olds or 16-year-olds, sorry, 16-year-olds in the World Juniors very often. I think the last to do it was Bedsy, our boy. So very curious to see it. He could be their best player. He could be. And that could be, I mean, the hype around him is already starting to grow. His production's been very similar to Bedard McDavid in their D1 years. So if he has a big tournament, man, that's
The
going to be
issue
huge
with
for him.
Canada has always
Yeah.
been their goaltending. Although they
Yeah.
always like find a guy, you know what I mean, for the like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, Jack Ivankovic, Carter George, and Carson Bjarnson. None of them may ever be NHL goalies. Like I remember the year they won with like Colton Point or something like that, and he like never played a game in the league. And
That's
you
another
know,
reason I feel better about the U.S. I think they can expose them on that front for sure. Yeah.
dude, the US goaltending though, like at the World Juniors, it always like there's always like a couple of games where you're like, you know, I don't know. Like the US doesn't win games at the World Juniors on their goaltending. Like they don't ever really.
Yeah.
But Canada will
Augustin's a
like
good
get
starter,
it.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah,
Uh,
U.S. can outscore their problems. Although the defense is like the bottomish defense is probably what worries me. That's probably like the weakest. I think Lee brought this up. Probably the weakest part of that team. But otherwise, I mean, the offense is pretty well constructed. Hagen's leading the charge there. Some returning guys from last year too, which is nice. But not quite as deep, maybe depth wise compared to last year's team. Yeah.
okay, so my gold. So you had the Czechs winning
Yeah,
bronze.
that one was just that's probably not going to happen because I don't know if their team's as strong this year, but they always seem to, man, every year in the World Juniors they're always that spoiler team. So I'm just going to say I think they won bronze last year too, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they did against the Finns, so I'll say they do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at their team right now. They've got like a lot of picks on the team. You know, there's Eddie Shala's on the team, and Miroslav Holinka is on the team, and there's a Hawks pick, Yuri Felkman on the
Oh
team.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, there's like Adam Juracek's on the team, Jacob Dvorak's on the team. That's not a bad pick. Robel too is a good goaltending prospect for the
Who was
club.
that prospect that was snubbed from that team? He was probably one of their better players. I can't remember his name. Was it Kulik?
Badinka or something.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, was it because like he did play for them in some level before that? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It
that's
was.
interesting. Hopefully, they won't come back to bite them. But want to do our? Who's your bronze?
Okay,
Pick?
so I'm picking Canada to win gold. I just think they're too dominant.
Yeah,
Assuming it's a Canada US final, which it probably won't be, even though that's how probably all of us are going to pick
yeah,
our
no.
winners. I'll say the United States takes home the silver, and my bronze medal team. Oh, let me see how many draft picks Slovakia has on the team.
Who I didn't
Uh,
think about them.
because they're a team that like
They
uh
love playing spoiler too in the World Juniors.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. No, not Slovakia. All right. Give me the Finns. Give me the Finns. Because Sweden's, you know, the
They
world
always
junior
disappoint.
folk artists.
They haven't won since 2012, and they had that crazy run, remember, where they like didn't lose a preliminary game. It was like, how long was that
It
streak?
was like 10 years, 11
It
years.
it ended pretty recently, yeah. But they tend to not really perform in this tournament. I mean, they only have like two gold medals in history. I think the other one was in '81 and 2012. The Finns always perform well. Like if it's not the U.S. or Canada, the Finland is winning the gold. When Russia isn't there, at least. So yeah,
Also, like maybe we find this on Old Takes Exposed in a few years, but like calling Axel Sandin Pellikka the second best player outside of the National Hockey League right now, outside of Ryan Leonard, I think is a stretch.
he's good, but I do think Wings fans
Second
are going
best
to be
player,
home
not in
cooking.
the
Oh no,
NHL?
he's not. He's not the second
No.
best player. Yeah, he's not better than. He's not even better than Levshinov, our boy. So yeah, I'm not really sure what they're on there.
Have you
Yeah,
seen this Nikishin that
that's
they,
is that the Slovakian?
no.
Oh,
Nikishin is this like he's a Canes draft pick. He's a Canes prospect. He's like a 22-year-old captain of a KHL team in Russia, and
yeah,
he's unbelievable. And he's like 6'7", 6'8". I don't know. Like
yeah.
that dude's probably, I think, one of the best players outside of the National Hockey League right now, but it's not XL Sandine Pelika, and they're not.
Yeah, no. How about some more predictions here? Who's going to get relegated? And is it probably Kazakhstan, right? I mean, is there any
Well,
chance they're not relegated?
well, I don't know, dude. We were talking, we were chirping Kazakhstan. Also, we got a message when I did that segment about the Kazakhstan captain playing at the University of
Put some
Illinois.
respect on the ACHA. I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we got
Yeah.
some DMs telling us to respect the ACHA, and then somebody asked us to pick our favorite ACHA jersey, which we will do next week.
Ooh, yeah.
But because there's so many good ACHA jerseys out there.
Yeah.
Shout out DePaul University alumni. The
Oh, there you
black
go.
is sweet.
I'll shout out my John Carroll Blue Streaks too. They're in the ACHA. Yeah.
Which one? Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
I don't know. I should know the answer to that. I don't have the answer to that. Yeah.
Oh, hopefully none of the hockey team here is watching.
Yeah, no, they
I'm
won't
gonna
be
say
fans of that.
Latvia gets relegated.
Ooh, yeah, we'll see. Latvia, they're sneaky. They're a sneaky country, man. There's especially in this tournament. They tend to at least make the games interesting.
Are you saying Kazakhstan gets relegated?
Yeah, I just don't see how they don't.
Okay.
I mean, it's not there are stronger 10 teams, right? Like Austria, Belarus. Although Austria tend to get destroyed in this tournament. So yeah, I mean, who would be next in line then? Do we know the answer to that yet? If they get relegated, who would be the 10th team? Or they got to still do that, right? Because they're like the secondary.
No, they did the tournament already.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, who won promotion? I talked about it on my show. I think Austria lost. Raven, can you look it up? I think Austria lost to No, Norway was supposed to make it because they had they had Brandzeg Nygaard and Stian Solberg on the team, and Brandzeg Nygaard had like zeros throughout the 1A tournament. Like he didn't produce anything.
That's not clutch.
No, not at all. And Stian Solberg had like 1 goal, and that was it.
That's not going to get done.
No. So, oh man, I forgot. It was either Raven, you don't know. Yeah,
It's either Norway or Denmark, I think.
Oh, I think Denmark. I think
That
it was
sounds
Denmark.
right. It's
think
been
it
a
was
while since they've
Denmark.
been in the tournament. Yeah, that's a
It
pretty
wasn't
decent hockey
Norway
country
'cause
too.
It wasn't Norway, but I think Denmark beat Austria in like a comeback win or something like that. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it should be a fun tour. I think it starts at 26, right? Day after Christmas. I
Yeah,
think the
Boxing
US
Day.
US plays Germany, so a 44 rematch there. But yeah, we'll see what Germany can do in this tournament.
Yeah, they'll wipe the floor. I think
Yeah, that'll be a 10-0
Germany even
win.
they had like 1 draft pick on the team and he's hurt and he's not playing.
Yeah,
So
and they've been on the rise the last few years, but this year's team not looking quite the same. So
they
yeah,
could get relegated. So okay, so I have Canada, USA, Finland is my 1, 2, 3. And the tiebreaker will be the relegation team. So I'm gonna say
sure.
Latvia gets relegated. You got USA, Canada, Czechia.
That's right. And then
Kazakhstan is getting relegated.
that's right. Yeah, Czech. Yeah,
Okay.
I keep calling the Czech Republic still. I forget they changed that. Yeah.
Raven, could we document these and also make sure we get it from Lee later on?
Absolutely.
He's definitely not going to pick Canada. He's not a big fan of Canada. He's always chirping Canada.
No,
So
he's not even going to pick Canada to medal. So.
that's ridiculous. Like this team's so like I would say last year's Canada team is probably one of the weakest they've had, but this year's Canada, like this is a Canada team. Like they're going to be good. Yeah.
One comment. Team Canada absolutely stacked. I would be shocked if they didn't win gold. Me too, buddy. Me too. All right. That's all I got. You got anything else?
America for the win, baby. No, we're taking this thing. Just yeah, excited for the break here. Although I'm not excited for the lack of hockey, but we'll get back at it because we'll be right back into it with the World Juniors Winter Classic coming up, and hopefully Hawks up for the live stream tonight. We're looking forward to that. Lee will be there. Should be a lot of fun, and yeah.
You guys are going to do the post game show afterward. Just run it.
Oh yeah,
roll it
post
right
game
into
too. Yeah, and no shows
Mhm.
this week for Wednesday, Friday, but we will still do the post games on Friday and Sunday, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Cool.
And then we'll be back next week, regularly scheduled programming,
Oh, yeah,
including maybe a bonus episode on
Oh,
next
yeah.
Tuesday on Winter Classic Day. You
Yeah,
will
we should do a
probably be getting
bonus.
you'll probably get a bonus CHR episode that day too. So of some
Hell
kind. I don't know if it'll be the traditional Hawks hour, NHL hour. It'll probably
Might just be
like
Hawks
a
Winter
it might
Classic
just be like a
hour.
Hawks, I got to reach out to Greg Boysen still, see if he wants to come on the show and.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice to have him. Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have some in studio guests too, and it'll be a fun week. All right. Well, yeah, I don't got anything else. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're so close to 300.
Yeah,
Follow us on Instagram. We are so close to 500, and continue to send us questions, join the Discord. We answer questions every Friday. Obviously, we're not going to answer questions this Friday, but we will answer any questions you ask this week on next week's Friday mailbag. So it's not like your question won't get read. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate. I know also the holidays aren't always the happiest times for people. Sometimes they're very sad. So, if you're listening to our podcast and maybe you don't get to go see your family this year, or, we thank everybody for all the love and support that they've shown us. And we hope that we could bring a little bit of comfort to your lives, and that, you're able to enjoy your holiday, and that everybody has a happy and healthy new year. That's all we really care about. So, thank you very much. Justin, any final words? Stream tonight. Have fun.
Thank you. Yeah, ditto. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope everybody has a great holidays. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. And we're not done yet. We will be there tonight. Excited.
Cool. All right. Peace out, everybody.